The world is ending, though few believe it. The Chaos Gods, the Dark Brothers, tire of their great game. Now, they seek to sweep the board clean with fire and blood. For centuries, the Empire has held firm against its enemies. Mankind has encountered no foe that steel could not tame, or whom walls could not hold. At least, that is what they taught. No one spoke of the ancient enemy now rising from beneath, and no one will be left to tell the tale. Unless you can stem the Vermintide.
A trap!
Look out!
Alright then, so welcome to Warhammer End Times Vermintide. I'm DFuxa, and I'll note that right to start for this game here, this is a game I actually received for free. When I basically found it basically being given away for free for a giveaway. But anyhow, beyond how I basically received this game, I'll note that I didn't actually think much of this game when I basically first came out. And I've actually known about this game for quite a little bit here. I'll note that basically this game here, Vermintide, is essentially a clone of Left 4 Dead, and the idea is that basically it's sort of melee oriented as opposed to being range oriented with Warhammer S flavoring to it. I'll note that we have access to 5 heroes here, which basically include the Witch Hunter,
For the Emperor!
the Way Watcher,
Aye.
the Dwarf Ranger,
Come on, no fussing!
the Bright Wizard,
Have no fear. We'll triumph.
and the Empire
Top
Soldier.
2, let's get this done!
Now, a note basically for this game here, the idea is that basically these 5 characters are finding themselves basically in a city that's been beset by the Ratmen, who are basically from the under world, so to speak, or the underneath. And basically the idea is that instead of having these swarms of infected we had in Left 4 Dead, we have swarms of Ratmen that basically have to kill. And we do so with a combination of melee weapons here and ranged weapons.
They've got us completely cut off. No relief in sight.
So I'll note that basically at the start of this video here, you saw a cinematic, and basically this guy here, the innkeeper, he was basically there to sort of rescue the heroes when they basically got ambushed by those Ratmen at the start of the game. And essentially now we're sort of in his inn here, which is basically a safe house for us. Now we can basically go here to bring a map to see where we want to play. There's essentially 4 different areas we can basically go to essentially play, as well as Ubershark, which is basically the main campaign right here. And when we basically select this up, we can basically go to a mission. We can get the difficulty easy, normal, hard, and we unlock we have nightmare and cataclysm. There's advanced settings for who you want to basically have for heroes, how long you want to search, stuff like that. You can basically invite your friends if they have the game as well. I'm not bad if you own the DLCs, by the way. You don't actually have to have, like, you know, your friends own them as well. You can basically play, like, the game, like, you know, with, like, the DLCs with your friend. If you own the DLCs, so you can host the game yourself. Alright, so, enough of that basically right there. So, I'll note that some differences between, like, this game and Left 4 Dead, by the way. Essentially, like, for, like, Left 4 Dead, that's basically, like, a game, like, you know, they have very, like, cookie cutter, like, you know, sort of heroes that, like, you know, don't really do a whole lot different from each other. This game basically has this, like, each of the heroes basically has sort of a different setup. So, for example, we have, like, the elf hero basically has, like, you know, like, you know, she has the ability to, like, you know, dual wield, like, weapons. She uses, like, bows basically to, like, you know, hit her foes with. This opposed to, say, like, you know, the witch hunter basically has, like, you know, crossbows and, like, you know, pistols, which basically uses, like, you know, hit enemies with. So there's, like, a crossbow. And he has, like, more, like, finesse type of weapons, who has, like, you know, the rapiers, the axe. He has basically, like, also, like, the, like, two-handed sword. We got the dwarf over here, who basically can use, like, shields if he wants to, or can use, like, giant, like, two-handed weapons. Similar to, like, you know, the Empire soldier over here. So, basically, both our sword and board type of characters here, they both have access to, like, you know, shields and, like, you know, heavy weapons to, like, bash things around with. They both use, like, handguns and stuff like that to, like, you know, basically take out enemies. So, lots and lots of, like, you know, barrels basically to blow up their enemies with. And then there's a wizard over here, who basically has, like, you know, staves. Basically, she uses to, like, you know, blow up her foes with. And, of course, she uses, like, you know, little like, you know, swords basically to defend herself with if she needs to be, you know, as well be, like, you know, a wizard here. Now, I'll note there's a few things that sort of, like, you know, they did in this game that are a little bit different than Left 4 Dead. Because this is, like, you know, very, like, loot-driven, with, like, you know, sort of, like, you know, different, like, types of, like, you know, weapons to, like, use and stuff like that. They have both, like, you know, a forge here, which lets you, like, you know, upgrade your weapon. So, if I want to, I can basically go in here and, like, upgrade my weapon to be something different. Let's see here. For example, I have, actually, a whole lot of, like, weapons here. I could drop, like, say, these dual swords right here. I could drop, like, say, like, you know, yeah, let's just say the swift bow right here. Don't really care much for a sword and dagger, so maybe we'll go with that. And yeah, that's like a thing. Like, you can go through and, like, you know, basically it draws their items here to, like, you upgrade and, like, you know, do other stuff with them as well. And I want to basically, like, just add one more weapon to just, like, you know, here, I guess. So I don't really think much of crossbows. Now, another basically, as you see, like, I'm basically adding, like, my weapons basically in here. It basically, like, you know, lowers, like, the cost of this right here. If I was supposed to add, like, all these weapons basically in, it basically, like, you know, I feel like fusing here. But if I basically, like, you know, have, like, you know, this many, I have to, like, use a few gems basically to, like, you know, essentially, like, you know, get, like, a random item here for free. So basically, the idea is, like, I can basically fuse this stuff here and, like, you know, we'll just do so. So for her, I just got ourselves a couple more, like, dual, like, swords here. These are basically twin tail S blades. So basically, they have, like, you know, improvements on them. So basically, this has fruit growth. This has got improved guard. I think this might actually be better than the current one I basically have. So I'm okay with this. Alright, so I'll show you basically another thing, by the way. So basically, like, in the fortune, like, you know, get, like, you know, improved items for, like, you know, cost, like, old items. You can basically upgrade them as well. So just, like, you know, swords here basically. I put right in here. Go, like, you know, spend, like, the tokens to, like, improve it a little bit. So there's, like, you know, improved guard basically on it. There's basically, like, you know, this on it as well. So now I basically have, like, you know, a couple, like, you know, improved, like, you know, dual swords basically right here. You can also salvage items that you don't want basically to, like, get rid of them. So if I basically had, like, items basically I didn't really want, I could, like, you know, turn it basically into, like, you know, essentially, like, you know, well, let's just put it this way. I don't really want this, like, you know, a simple chalet right here. I already got, like, another one basically here. So let's see here. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of my bullhead triggers. I don't really care about them here. So you can basically salvage stuff to get, like, you know, more, like, you know, stuff basically used like that. If you need to, by the way, there's also the option of, like, you know, praying to, like, get more stuff. So, for example, let's just say, like, you know, on, like, the Witch Hunter here. That's right here. you basically like pray to like, you know, get access to like, you know, more stuff here. So if I want to basically like pray for like, you know, weapons, notice that like, you know, the cost is influenced by like, you know, what you're praying for. So if I just want to pray for like, you know, a ram like, you know, upgrade here, like, you know, pray to get this, we'll get like a ram iron basically popping up for like the Witch Hunter. You can also offer this to like change your traits. So if I want to, I can change like say the trait on like this like rapier. Not a bad thing to basically do. There's also in box so basically improve an item. So say put this rapier right here, for example. I can basically like, you know, well, try and improve basically item here basically for like a cost basically. You know, get the idea. Let's see here. I could try and improve like this like, you know, right here, just like this like, you know, this like, you know, bow I basically put in right here. So for a cost of like 10, I could try and like improve this a little bit. So didn't quite work, but you know, you get the idea. Basically, that's like how it sort of like, you know, works. Basically, like, you know, I have a chance to go up. Maybe it gets better. Maybe it doesn't, etc., etc. Now, note by the way, like I could try and like put this stuff on, but it doesn't matter. So I know these like these gems over here, the plentiful gems are kind of like useless, but whatever they are, what they are. Let's try and improve this one here. Again, we fail, but whatever. You get the idea, basically. Alright, over here is basically a bounty board. Now, I know this game is basically meant to be like play like over and over again. It's like, you know, it's basically like for like, you know, playing over again with your friends, basically. And to sort of help out with that, they have like a bounty board over here. The bounty board basically lets you like, you know, collect like, you know, like these like, you know, these scrolls basically to like, you know, get like new items and stuff like that if you want to. So for example, you can try and get this trinket here. So this has explosive ordnance 40%. So basically improves my grenades. This thing right here. There's basically a dwarven like, you know, two-handed maul over here for the dwarf. So Swiss sling and bloodlust not a bad thing to basically get for like, the dwarf basically. Essentially how this basically works, usually there's like a breakdown of like, you know, headgear, trinket, and some sort of weapon you can basically like, you know, sort of get. These are basically governed by like the key contracts basically up here. So if you have like basically keys on these like, you know, scrolls, you basically try like, you know, build up to like, get these like, you know, weapons. Sometimes they'll be like really good weapons you basically get from here. Sometimes they'll be like, you know, very crappy ones, but you know, they're there, and that's what they're all about. Down here you basically have like our contracts, and note that this one's basically grayed out here. So this is like a DLC, basically like, you know, quest right here, and I don't have access to DLC, so basically it's grayed out. But all of these are basically available. Note that they all have like difficulties I have to complete on. They all have like objectives. So the white rat basically is an easy one right here. This requires me to like go and like, you know, essentially like, you know, avoid taking damage from Skaven, and each time your eyes of progress, you basically get like, you know, improvement basically for it. Here's a river right basically one here. If I basically complete this one, protect all my heroes from special Skaven, we'll get like a gem upgrade. So you know, get these upgrade tokens to like do stuff with. There's black powder on higher or above, so basically I have to do black powder on higher or above to get these like, you know, upgrade tokens. And then this one requires me to do like, you know, the last stand missions, which are basically like, you know, I'm not basically just to throw it out there by the way, just because I didn't really basically mention it. There's essentially two types of like, you know, missions in this game. There's like, you know, adventure and last stand.
There's a new way to wage this war when
So,
you're ready.
Last stand is essentially like, you know, basically survival, basically type of thing. And the idea is that basically you have to sort of like hold out for like a while before like, you know, you basically succumb to like, you know, the hordes.
If you hadn't had enough of vermin, here's a fight that will truly test your mettle.
So, note by the way, like, you know, these are actually like the other stuff you have like, you know, champion and other like difficulties and stuff like that basically popping in here. So, whatever. I haven't borrowed like last stand because sort of slippery in this game is like, you know, not really played by a whole lot of people. I don't really see the point of it, but whatever. But anyhow, I'm not that the contracts there. The thing about the contracts is that they're all about like, you know, getting like, you know, upgrade tokens to like do stuff with and like, you know, play the game like, you know, better with and stuff like that. But anyhow, now unfortunately, this is like not really like of interest to me. I don't think. I might be able to do like the easy, like, you know, the white rat on the easy, I guess. But you know, this is like the boss mission over here, so not really sure why I obviously attempt that. So whatever. Anyhow, I'm not basically when you complete the contracts, you can basically like, you know, get the rewards for them. This one basically has like increased stamina, so much like this one basically gives me like, you know, a buff to like my ability to do stuff. So grants additional stamina shield on your melee weapon, so basically like block a little bit better with them. No first one I have to open chest by the way for like this one to get completed, so they all like have different objectives. This one is just a simple like, you know, complete mission I get done. I'll get the key, I get the stagger. Not bad. Alright, so I sort of rambled on basically long enough about the lobby and like, you know, what the game sort of has to offer. I'm basically gonna like cut the recording here, and we'll basically like jump into like, you know, the first mission of this game, so I basically should show it off for you. So bear with me for a moment. Alright then, so we've basically gone through the explanations for this game here. So, who do I want to be, I guess? I'm not basically like, right now we're currently on the elf here, and she's basically like good for like, you know, horde slaying, but let's see here. I kind of want to try and get like this guy better like, you know, sort of like, you know, ranged weapons, so it's probably a good idea to sort of like play like the Witch Hunter, I think. So
Once
let's go
again,
to, like,
you
Victor's
did
No
Soul
surprise
here.
there.
And I'm not by the way if I want to get like, you know, equip weapons basically like in this menu here, but you know, let's just jump into the game itself and like, you know, we'll do it in there. So, we're gonna play the first mission here, Horns of Magnus.
It's time to raise the alarm and give the town a fighting chance.
Now, I'm not bothering to play this on normal difficulty because there's actually something I want to basically know about this game here. I have like tried to play this on hard difficulty, but I'll note it's very difficult to play this game in hard. Like it's like a big jump in difficulty, like between like, you know, the normal like and like, you know, hard difficulty. So we're just gonna play on normal because I don't think it's really playable this game on like, you know, hard like bots, so to speak. And even with like players, it's very hard to play. So we're just gonna jump in like normal here. I forgot to put some private by the way, so we're just gonna do that, I think. Alright, so this is a multiplayer game, by the way, so it's probably also important to note, by the way, that like, you know, when you're basically like these lobbies, basically you have to be connected to like the servers online. And I will note as well that you can't like make it private if you want to, but you know, you can also make it public for like other people to join if you want to as well. We're just gonna ready to go.
Right. The town is under attack, and our best chance of getting the word out lies with the Magnus Tower. There's a garrison up there. Warn them if you can, but make sure the Horn of Magnus is blown. That racket will be heard clear to the mountains, and that's exactly what we want.
Alright, so Uber Strike 2523 IC. And I assume IC stands for Imperial Calendar, but I'm not fully like, you know, versed in Warhammer, so no idea if that's true or not. Alright, so we're in this mission here. I'll note that right now I'm currently using Rapier of like, you know, Saltspire, which is very good for like, you know, sort of like, you know, more like type of killing attacks. But this is sort of a different effect. We'll like use the axe this time around, so we'll take this instead. This is good for like cutting through armor and like, you know, killing off sealed foes, so that's what we're going to use this basically for.
We cannot rest until the alarm is raised. To the tower!
Careless haste buys us nothing but a quick death.
Gather your courage, my friends.
Another vermin falls!
Alright, so there's the first Ratmen killed. So, you'll see that there's basically like, you know,
Protect the flanks, in case they come from the sides.
Very similar to like say Left 4 Dead, where you have like Warhammer like zombies chasing around. And you know, you also see a lot of like other like sort of like similar characters to Left 4 Dead happening as well soon, so let's just keep going.
We should have been challenged by now.
Alright, so there we go, we got them. I'm not bothered there is like chests you can like loot to like find
It's
items
not
in, so
bumpins, I'll tell you that.
sometimes I'll find like say a potion of strength for example, like used, like, you know, give you a buff. Got the potion of speed. Well, I know that the bots will pick up stuff, but they're very like hesitant to sort of use it, so not the most beneficial thing, whatever. Ooh. So I'm not sure you saw like green stuff, but I'll note that she's actually using a poison bow. So our elf is basically using like a poison bow, which like, you know,
dies now!
causes like, you know, damage to the time, so to speak.
Their reactions are as slow as yours.
Well, I don't know if that was like a special right there. You can ping like, you know, like specials kind of like you do them up for dead to like, you know, let your like friends know where they are. So there's one of the special spaces right there, like you could. And our elf is going to town for bow.
Pray to Sigma. The hordes are coming. The Ratmen don't want that horde winded. I shall gladly disappoint them.
Alright, where are they going to come from?
I'll take him on the shield! This is where I can raise my shield. Now, let's have another.
Coach Vakira hasn't been calculating.
That's our healing potion. Some more medical supplies. So I'm not basically like, you know, much like Left 4 Dead, you have like these like, you know, horde situations that sort of happen every so often. And what
I'd
to
rather
do,
some knock relief, but this'll do.
you have to sort of like defend yourself.
Hiding in the shadows, gutter runner.
Gutter runner!
Well, I'll let you guess what that guy was basically all about, whatever. The gutter runner is basically like the hunters from like, you know.
One less Packmaster.
So I'll note that basically like the gutter runners are sort of like the hunters from like Left 4 Dead. And this Packmaster here is essentially like the smoker.
The clan!
Don't be fooled. They're still about.
Orkney would be proud! Ruin that!
Alright, well. Around this point we might see like our first like, you know, boss of a special.
Start close,
Move it here.
Throw up. Aim for the head. Sigma. It's going to blow.
I always like building here. Or essentially, you know, the spit like that guy's facing an armor like guy right here, but whatever.
Hear that? More poison around. Right, the hammer. Kill that thing.
Here's basically like the, you know, spitter. Essentially like build like a poison product, like kind of spray that to, you know, get your sort of move out of like the area. Oh, just like poison blood, but really cool like enemy rats that are sort of in it. If you want to like use it for that. It's not entirely like, you know, a judgment to you basically, but also a judgment to like the other rats.
All will die!
Alright, so we're basically entering a hot pit. This is where we basically have a bunch of things to sleep. We're seeing like, you know, the dead guards and everything else around.
I can hear them.
Alright, so guys, there's our horde coming.
Get clear!
Over here, apparently.
Trying to kill them all.
One gun! To die in a head!
So note that was basically like, no special. Unlike the other special items, I sort of like unique to this game because like, so like rapid fire special is left and right. Do a little bit of injury there, but whatever.
This better taste good.
There we go, nice big heal for me. There's some ammunition. Ah, here's some bombs.
Look, it's killed.
So much
Guess
like
I
Left 4
need to be
Dead, we have like our
faster.
throwables, they like, throws like, up the situation out a little bit.
Mind that reachy, grabby one.
Luck
Oh,
is nothing
Packmaster's
to be
dead.
proud of.
Yeah, there's like auto cues for like the specials by the way, so catch the text, look at catch them essentially like a Packmaster. You hear like one response, it's like poison over the ear, etc. etc.
A toast to the Emperor.
There we go. Alright, well, here's some stuff back here.
Time for a one-man shield war. I'm with you, Witch Hunter.
Imagine what you can do with tyrannies.
Give the gunners a moving target.
Oh, is there a gunner around?
I've lost kin to those things.
Don't relax. That's when they'll pounce.
Alright, well, let's pick up the gunner. You already saw what it basically did to me before, so
dear.
we'll avoid that.
Poison racket.
Well, he's dead. Alright, so we're entering another part of like the the game here. Now, I won't be able to collect basically all this stuff, but I'm just trying to show it off, so I'm not doing basically like these change mechanics in this game. And down here's basically one of them. So this is basically a tome. And we got a bunch of guys ambushing again, so I'm just gonna kill this ambush.
That's a global.
Purge the town.
It's going to explode.
Well, that's all dead. Alright, so, as I was basically saying, there's basically loot mechanics in this game. And you can basically sort of
Fresh
like augment
arrows
them
are
by like
always
picking up like
welcome.
tomes and like stuff like that, so I'm gonna pick this basically up here.
I wish you were an ale.
By the way, there's a hunter Alright, so you basically can pick up like these like, tomes. Basically take up like a slot for like your inventory, so you carry them around to actually cost you like, say like a spot for like, say healing items like I do right now. By the way, this is a photo as well. Well, it's not hard to see, but Up here's a grimoire. You can pick these up if you want to, but they like, take a spot for like, your potion. Actually, let's pick up and show it off right now.
Damnation! Inked in blood!
Now, I'm not if you basically looked at my health, by the way. You'll notice that the health for me and like all my other fellows are basically like, reduced now. And it's because I'm basically holding this grimoire here. Essentially, it's like an evil like book, and if you basically hold these, like they reduce your health of you and your party, but they give you like a lot better like loot as a result.
What horrors did that affirmation contain?
Just gonna do that, I think. Alright, on we go. I don't know if I have, like, you know, friends that could, like, you know, carry more of us, like, you know, around, but, you know, there's also gonna be another one, basically, like, you know,
but an
find
empty
basically later on.
street invites it. Die, creature!
Just go in here for a moment.
They haven't gone far.
Don't let them gather.
Oh, I used to throw it out there.
There's poison on the wind.
Tell him.
Globadia.
Oh, they will eventually, you know, figure out the work by way, just like,
Down, Gringy. You'll strange something. I'll put a shield. I'll get their attention. Bastard Janet is after my hide!
Hit the dog!
One more dead Ratmen. Look out! Rattling gun! Rattling!
why not? That is something I know about this game. Sometimes you get like double, like, you know, so the same specials. So you have like double gutter runners, double, like, you know, gutter rats, double gulbadiers. You'll definitely never get like a double, like, you know, boss, but whatever.
Weapons up! It's the tougher vermin. There's a man there!
By the way, I'm able to do that with like an axe. You won't be able to do that with like a pitiful sword, like, you know, the elf or, like, you know, well, he's got a mace,
Smell
so
some ammunition!
basically you got swords, you get really good armor in this game very well, so some of them are very different because they have like swords. They all get their ammo, so that's awesome. Fire can fire is very, very fast, as you can see. Also, you can do this.
They're cowards. They'll hide until it's time to strike.
Alright, so, getting to here, we have our first, like, sort of like objective type of thing, where if you, like, you know, do like a sort of like task before you can, like, continue on.
That gate must be opened by any means necessary.
Essentially, you have to bomb this, like, you know, gate over
Listen,
here.
the
You have
rat
to do it with, like, these barrels over here.
Clumsiness has a certain charm.
Black powder. Now we'll have a reckoning with that cursed gate.
Fire if you want to. Boop.
Now don't drink this out of thirst.
Oh, steady, Dory!
Supply from here, I guess.
You kill him like you're possessed, sir!
As this grab a barrel and go take it to the gate.
Don't look so frightened, Lumberfoots. It's only a few rats.
I'm not probably only very careful, like, you know, using those, like, you know, explosives when they're like right around because they can be hit. And if they hit you when you have an explosive, they like will ignite. Actually, let's try and show it off here.
Incoming pack!
The false moon gives them
This is
courage.
why these guys hit me here.
Fine shot!
So notice that this is basically lit on fire, this barrel. So, you know, you want to be very careful that sort of happen, like, you know, gunpowder. here.
Come, vermin. My blade sings greetings.
A righteous man.
Oh, if you want to be like, you know, so like you get here real quickly. Whee! People push the speed.
That gas rat needs to die!
Oh, gas driver dead.
Strangler Rats! Keep back! Packmaster!
Deer.
Aim for the head, Sergeant.
Alright, so. This is where my axe
Reach the sky in that pretty face, can we?
The big light
Oh,
tower.
it's just so you know, there's like several like things that like weapon come in this game. I'm not basically like, you know, when you're basically in combat, you can like, you know, swing your sword like, you know, just normally.
Fine, I'll drink it.
That's supposed to be what I'm doing like these guys right here.
What a homecoming
You
this
can also do
turned
other
out
stuff
to
like,
be.
say, like a big strike. That's really hard to like start using these
Ammunition!
guys here, but whatever.
Thank Valaya.
Let's use a big strike on one of these guys over here, I guess.
No, they're not meant to be here.
A tide of them!
There we go.
Right in the donglets!
And here we come. Boom.
Bombs away!
Time for a one-man shield war! I'll use my shield, you use your weapon.
Oh, I know that the Packmaster
Never dead rat man! Watch it! Runners! Backstabbers about!
Get off me!
Oh, he's dead. I'll pick those up, so that's fine by me.
Storm vermin!
But just so you know, you can like, you know. Headshot these guys.
Get out of here!
Stamps won't save you, Strangler Rats.
Kill of the gas rat!
Alright, that's enough of this like over here. So, I'm not basically over in this area, by the way. There's actually like another little grimoire, so I'm just going to pick it up right now.
Dead end, definitely.
Use it to get up here a little bit. Oh, I did it the wrong way. But basically over here is like, you know, like grimoire you can basically pick if you want to.
It's an ambush!
And it's an ambush, because why not?
This tome is steeped in wickedness.
You prove your worth at this game, Sullivan.
Told breath, stay sharp.
I'll go over here somewhere.
could have killed him quicker.
Alright, let's push it on.
Look out, Strangler! Those rats dead and gone!
Whatever. It said there's a glove of deer around, but I just don't see it yet, so...
You're a gutter runner! Gutter runner!
For the order! Cheers!
That's assassin to worry about!
I will note that EA will pick up your tones, by the way, but they will also drop them as well. I'll have to watch out for yours because you're doing that at some point, but whatever.
Beware the hook! Master's dead!
Finally not get on your bad side.
They think sheer numbers will prevail.
Oh! Oh, someone's gonna fight these guys, so...
Take him on the shield!
Yes, when like the, shit hits basically. Had a horde closing in, those days like, marching out like, in file basically over here, the storm or whatever. There's sometimes I see like that sort of event basically happen where like, have like sort of Stormbringer basically like popping out from like nowhere. And after your like engagement run around him.
What? Are you eyeing that cabin? Where is your discipline?
So. Let's go up here. Down he goes.
That's it! Get them! Find the comet! Yes!
Ammunition.
Got the ammunition net.
I must medicate myself. The Packmaster fiend.
Oh, kill that Packmaster there, but whatever. Alright, note that he discarded a tome there, so that's been discarded for whatever. Pick it up.
This mulch burns my throat.
And
You make me proud, Grimgate. Stay back up. I see all you kill, right?
that's even worse. That was the sound of an oath.
Ogre! Rat ogre!
Oh!
Under sustained attack!
So, it's basically like one of the boss
Rattling gun.
Oh, God's curse!
Better keep limping, mercenary.
Rakogri! Good in that side of a bastard! Drink more, Azuki! You're already so unsteady on your feet. I'm not for that. There are more Raki to kill, Sergeant.
Much like Left 4 Dead, you have like, sort of like the mechanics to pick up people, so he picked himself up right there. Or, they picked him up right there, the AI. Alright, so yeah, the rat operates basically like the tank, like, Left 4 Dead, and as you can probably guess, it's like, operates
These
the
are
same way.
evil times.
Good! No one ever sings about uneventful
This is like the worst
days,
section of the map
but
is
I'd
the
like
time
my
machine,
tin to sing of my deeds.
Let us hope they sing better than you then, Hold Seeker.
Ugh. It's even worse than I thought. And I know how to paint a dreary picture.
So yeah, it's on fire, or whatever. Alright, let's just see here. Before we, push on, by the way.
Gaslat! Watch those globes!
A masked one. Beware of poison.
More!
He's dead. I'm not bothered. There's actually in our tome it's like this server in basically. You have to open up like the free chest basically to get access to it though. More of like a missed a chest somewhere, but whatever. Nope, this is one I missed. Oh, I note this says must drop the Grimar to pick up potions because you don't have access to potions when I basically have the Grimar or whatever. Alright, so note that when I basically open all the chest plate, there's it's over here. As you told me, you basically want to pick it up if you want to right here. Look, the marker's picked it up for me, so that's nice. Alright, let's just continue on.
Big Bob wants us to rid this town of mud. That's me! My trust! Chop him to pieces!
What the heck are you doing?
Can you hear the Globadier?
Tell me, Marcus. You get stuck behind the door there, so. AI's gonna AI, but whatever. Alright, on we go.
We still not high enough, Dory.
Why not? We have
And the rat beasts!
Oh, you can't fall off these trees from bad stuff like that.
Souls fire! Silent threat! Got the hook back!
You know what?
See what's left! Hold it! Packmaster got
Well,
it!
I think he's the duck at the
Last moment.
So I get grabbed there by Packmaster and basically start striking like it's just like the smoker except one close range. Alright, pushing on.
I see.
They're not fucking me here! That's it! It won't go down like that, Elf! Hit the head!
They've not given up. Not yet.
Leave them in sway!
Yeah, I don't think I should push the axe too, so. Armor's never cooked, by the way, but it's more like I know the shields like this guy's basically got right here. They can knock down hordes of rats pushing, so it's really good for them to do.
A gutter on it draws near.
Yep. What, he got a letter? That's nice. the top of the tower.
These defenders were not ready. Could have helped if you manlings realized the Ratmen are real.
Chest.
Come, let's go up.
Racky.
Oh, I hope it heals better than it tastes.
Alright, well, looks like Brilliant's got to push now.
Nothing to witch hunter.
We had a horse coming from.
Batter, I shield, you kill, alright?
Whatever. Here to come.
Almost a hint of finesse in that kill.
There we go. We'll throw all this stuff here. Let's see here.
Feeling better, dwarf?
Thanks, Grimgate.
Whatever. As long as someone has a book. I'd be okay if like the bot actually bringing the book with me, so where's the book?
A masked one. Beware of poison. Foul warpstone machinery.
Oh, sounds like a Grenadier or a gunner around.
Very Sigma. The Ratling's dead.
Kill off those
At last, ammunition.
two. Ammunition for myself.
Let the horde cry out.
Alright, this is where we're probably gonna see like, you know, the drop of stuff, whatever.
Do you have the flux, sir?
Next time, Sergeant, I'll save you.
Alright, so yeah, basically dropped the chunk.
Feeble attempt.
How did I basically work this game?
Aim for the head
Just
instead.
like that. Oh well. I should have let this poison die there, or whatever. Alright, that's out of the way.
Don't waste that bomb. There can be no rest for us. Not yet.
Alright, let's just go up here. We're just gonna basically hit the horn so we can basically, like, you know, trigger, like, you know, the ending sequence for this mission.
I suspect that horn can make an even louder racket.
Is there no way out?
I hear the sword.
He's up there, by the way. He's just gonna stay up here and try not to come. Alright, so.
Slaughter 'em!
Kind of sorry if it's gonna come out my way.
Go for the head out! Those feeble attacks do nothing!
Yep, still up there. That's like the one about like on the dead by the way. I like it was like a 4 color something like that. Everything was basically fully like you know stuff is basic damage.
Does it make a scratch out?
You proved your worth at this stage, Saltspire. They're swarming.
Oh, I think I actually came down. Well, whatever. else gonna swap there basically.
Bomb thrown!
I got the pass, man. So good.
All you Vikings, you use your weapons.
Packmaster is down.
I got the Packmaster, but you gotta remember I got me first. Now, that's not way to hard to do this. Fire is some weapons, so. Hey, look at that. We actually saw, like, the, you know, he actually used the bomb once. That's very rare to see, by the way.
Watch every shadow.
Down, Grinky. You sprayed something.
Alright, so.
Lilith, watch over us.
That's gonna fall. We're gonna escape.
What do you wait for? Blessings? Come on!
So, we're near the end of this, like, you know, mission here. So let's get done, and let's, like, show off the, you know, ending, like, mechanic, so to speak. There we go.
Come on! You're restless, as am
Glad she's here. I've walked it up for one night.
So I'll note, by the way, like, you know, when you're basically exiting, always, like, you'll have, like, your getaway garage right here.
1,000 deaths are not enough for this hook rat!
I was like, leave right here. So no place when like you complete mission, you get like an experience breakdown, like, you know, a loot dice like requirement, like at the end right here, telling you basically how you did. You didn't like get like, you know, if like get your level up, you didn't like, you know, weapon stuff basically for it. I'll note that in between, like, you know, this like section here, like the experience point, if you did a contract, it'll tell you if you complete it or not, or like how you basically did, like, you know, doing it and stuff like that. I didn't really have any contracts to like do right for your first mission here, so, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You can basically see like very nice poems here, so you can basically see like the quality of your dice, like, you know, how the mechanics basically work. So the more like poems and like, you know, stuff you collect, the more like you basically get there. That's a terrible throw, but whatever. Here's where we basically acquire for like, you know, our like trouble gas. So we basically acquire like a mace basically for the Empire soldier. So you can like see like who's basically like, you know, acquiring it right there. What traits basically has on it, if it has anything, its name. Alright, so on the basically have like breakdown, like, you know, how who basically did what and stuff like that, much like you did in Left 4 Dead, as well as the time left over here. This is like a phone mechanic where you basically can invoke basically what I want to basically do here, so we'll get that in a moment. But like over here, basically I have like a breakdown like who did what. So basically most kills for me, I had most like melee kills, I had most stormbringer kills, most headshots, most spam rats. You know, it's just breakdown like who did what. Apparently the dwarf did like the most like boss damage here. He killed the most specials. And like, you know, the Empire soldier basically ate like the other like heroes the most. Marcus Kruger was basically saved like, you know, twice I guess. Damage taken. Apparently Krillin took the least damage. I took like the most. Marcus, the Emperor soldier, like the most range kills, etc., etc. All right, so that's basically like a breakdown. Like this stuff here is just like during the end. So, this is essentially like, you know, Vermintide.
We
Like, you know,
lost
was
another
story.
safe house last night. This keeps up, we'll be all that's left.
So, I'll note that when I basically like first like saw like Vermintide, I want to note that this is actually one of those games I like didn't think much of because it essentially like it seemed like overpriced for what it basically was. I'll note that though this does come on like sale though for like, you know, 9% off from time to time now, so it's actually not that like, you know, bad of an idea, but it's a big pickup if like you have like, you know, something you want to basically do with your friends and like, you know, this one is like, you know, a cheap game to play. I wouldn't like recommend playing this game on hard even with like, you know, 1 or 2 friends because it is a very difficult game basically to sort of play like, you know, casually. But, you know, you basically like, you know, run through it for like a night basically to sort of like, you know, see what it's basically all about. There's also Vermintide 2 as well, like, you know, pick up as well if you basically want to. I'll note that the pickup for like Vermintide 2 is like more questionable though because apparently it's got like spyware basically on for like its anti-cheat shield, so you may want to basically like avoid that one just for like that sort of reason. Not really sure about that, but you know, something I like to point out. Anyhow, I hope you guys basically enjoyed the quick video basically for this game. And basically take care.